Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Again with the tardiness starting the show. That was a second and a half off.
Oh, no,
Yeah, we
Martin.
lost 2 seconds yesterday, and now another second and a half
I'm
today.
so sorry, okay? It's not my fault. It really isn't.
What do you mean
How is
it's
it not your fault? Are you not the one that's pushing the buttons in there?
I may or may not
That's
be the one.
3.5
who sets up
seconds
the
we'll never
lines.
get
I
back.
don't know.
3.5 seconds
no
we've
one
been
really
robbed
knows,
of.
do they?
And then this, you add to it. I mean, the cumulative effect is just unreal.
Think of that. If it's 3.5 seconds every couple days,
Right.
Eventually you're talking a lot, like a whole day. You'll lose a whole day of shows.
I think it's because of this. I don't know if we remember this.
So if we put the 18-minute together along with the 7-minute together, you got 22 minutes. You sell it with 8 minutes of ads, you got 30 minutes.
Okay.
That's where I learned how to.
All right.
That's where you
add
learn
up
math.
time.
Okay.
That's understandable then.
Okay.
Pat Gray Unleashed, sponsored by ExpressVPN. Surf the web with peace of mind. Sign up now at expressvpn.com/unleashed. Just a quick safety tip to start the day, because we need celebrities. We're all so stupid that we need celebrities to help us get through each day. Here's Kate Winslet's complex but super helpful instructions about how to stay safe and how to wash your hands.
Soap and water.
Okay, soap and water.
Should I write this down?
It surprises me every single time because I keep thinking she's going to say soap and fish guts or soap and gerbils. But no, every time it's soap and water. So keep that in mind too.
I mean, that'd be a curveball if it were fish or fish guts and see. I can't even remember. I should have written it down.
Yeah, you should write it down when she say. Okay, let's listen to it one more time. See if you can get it.
Soap.
And
water.
I've got
water. It's
I'm
water
sorry.
that goes with the soap. Okay.
Water. Okay.
Whew.
Soap.
Very helpful.
Oh yeah.
All right, we got some images from around America and the world to start out today. Guy taking out his garbage, and for some reason there's a tank sitting there.
Yeah, this was funny when we saw this making the rounds yesterday. Take your garbage out. Got a tank. Put your mask on, and then run back inside. Okay.
All right.
I'm sure that's just CGI, right, Pat?
Yeah, that's got to be.
That's stuff like that's not really happening in America.
Why would there be a tank there? Is that the United States? Actually, is it really?
I think that was complete.
Like,
no, I'm the one that has to
completely
say CGI now.
No, see, it's right there.
It's right there.
That's not CGI. That's really funny.
Yeah.
That is really well done and really funny.
But
But then when you compare it to real life, to the things that are actually happening, maybe it's not so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Saw this video in Odessa, Texas. Check this out.
So
Shirt with the shorts. Keep your hands up.
keep your
With the hat, green shirt. Pick your hands up. I can't see them.
hands up.
Okay, they're raiding
A bank,
is it
right? A bank robbery going on? Is that what's
No.
happening? Or we got a hostage situation? What's
No.
happening here? What?
I think somebody opened a. Were they in a bar?
Oh, someone opened a
Somebody
bar,
opened a
and they
bar.
weren't allowed to.
Get back.
Look at this.
White shirt. Get back.
What in the world?
That is unbelievable.
We need a military
Look at that.
vehicle.
That's like a SWAT team.
That's exactly what it is.
Breaking up people going to a bar.
We're
That
gonna
is crazy.
look for that. Tweet it out under Pat Unleashed on Twitter.
And that one was not CGI.
No,
So
unfortunately, it was not.
what is going on? I mean,
Texas.
then we got the update on Shelley Luther. She's the person who opened up her hair salon. Why? Because she wanted to kill people. She wanted to kill people.
See,
Yeah. She specifically set out to think. She was thinking, how can I kill the most people right now? Just stacks and stacks of dead bodies and maybe even get away with it. I know. I'll open my salon back up. People will die like crazy. So she's doing time in prison now. She's in jail for 7 days. And fined $7,000 because she opened her salon. She actually said, she's got to feed her family.
Right. She was in court, pseudo court through Zoom yesterday.
Unreal.
And, the judge said, look, you can apologize. You want to play this video?
Yep.
Watch this.
That you now see the error of your ways and understand that the society cannot function where one's own belief in a concept of liberty permits you to flaunt your disdain for the rulings of duly elected officials.
Wow.
That you owe an apology to the elected officials whom you disrespected by flagrantly ignoring and in one case defiling their orders, which you now know obviously apply to you. That you understand that the proper way in which in an ordered society to engage concerns which you may have had is to hire a lawyer and advocate for change, an exception or an amendment to laws that you find offensive.
Okay.
That you publicly state that this is the way that citizens in the state should behave. And that you represent to this court that you will today cease operation of your salon and not reopen until after further orders of the government permit you to do so. This court will consider the payment of a fine in lieu of the incarceration which you've demonstrated that you have so clearly earned. Is there anything that you would like to say?
First of all,
F you.
Yeah, right. He's referencing laws, as many people on Twitter were pointing out.
There's no law that you can't open your salon. There's no law. You're talking about orders there. You're talking about executive orders from people who really don't have the constitutional power to make orders like that. So what she's really, in effect, being jailed for a week is that she disrespected authority.
Yeah.
Show me that law, too. I'd like to see that law.
She responded. When he said, hey, do you have anything else you want to say?
Here's what she said.
Proceed.
Judge, I would like to say that I have much respect for this court and laws. And that I've never been in this position before. And it's not some place that I want to be. But I have to disagree with you, sir, when you say that I'm selfish, because feeding my kids is not selfish.
Good for you.
I have hairstylists that are going hungry because they'd rather feed their kids. So, sir, if you think the law is more important than kids getting fed,
it's not a law, by the way.
Please go ahead with your decision, but I am not going to shut the salon.
Wow. Good for her.
Off she went to serve 7 days in jail and pay that $7,000 fine.
It's despicable.
Or as Dylan pointed out, plenty of criminals have been let out, so I guess we have room for people like Shelley Luther now.
Well, she opened up a salon.
Yeah, I mean, that's unforgivable, am I right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's akin to genocide. She's really started genocide right there. Her own little personal genocidal move.
Yeah, or as Pathead Ernie pointed out, single mother of 3 jailed for trying to feed her family. I thought that this is Ernie talking. He said, I thought that this was, we can't do this. We've learned from illegal immigrants, you can't separate families. But if you're a citizen of the state and you, like you said, open up a hair salon.
Yeah. It's never a problem to separate an American family. The only families anybody ever talks about separation being a bad thing is illegal immigrants. That's the only time you can't separate a family. No one ever complains about stuff like this. Separations of families like that. She just wants to support herself and her children and her employees. And she gets 7 days in jail for that. Something's gone incredibly wrong in our society when that happens.
Right, and we had the story of the mom in Wisconsin where the cops showed up because her daughter went next door to play.
Yeah.
Glenn had a lady on from Kentucky, right, who wasn't properly social distancing with someone there, and they came over there, and what was the Child Protective Services guy came over and took pictures of her 10-year-old daughter, made her lift up her shirt. I mean, we're losing our minds by the minute. This is insane. Now this is in Texas. 2 stories, one day. We got a SWAT team breaking up a bar, a bunch of patrons trying to enjoy their freedom, and now this mom hauled off to jail because she wanted to keep her business open. I mean, this doesn't end well.
It's madness.
These leaders like this.
It's a madhouse! A madhouse!
Yep. I mean, how do you argue with that? Also, a New Jersey professor has responded to some backlash after F each and every Trump supporter comment online. Professor at a New Jersey university doubled down, saying that she's tenured after blaming President Trump and his supporters for the impact of the coronavirus outbreak. It's just ridiculous. Claiming it's their fault African Americans have been dying at a disproportionate rate. F each and every Trump supporter. You absolutely did this. You are to blame.
Oh, God.
That's what she posted on Twitter. And she's an associate professor in the Department of Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies at Rutgers.
Oh, you know that's a great class right there.
I said what I meant, and I curse because I'm grown, she wrote in a series of tweets. I have tenure. Rutgers won't be firing me for these tweets. In another post, she wrote that she and other African Americans suspect that recent efforts to reopen the country following stay-at-home orders were all about necropolitical calculation.
Wait, what was that word?
Necropolitical calculation. That it is black people who are dying disproportionately from COVID-19.
Well, you know that necropolitics is a theory of The Walking Dead, namely a way of analyzing how contemporary forms of subjugation of life with the power of death.
Yes, I talk about that all the time.
Do you?
If I had $1 for every time.
That's the bonus podcast you do every Friday, right?
Yeah, necropolitical calculations is what it's called.
That's a band name.
Yeah. Not only do white conservatives not care about black life, but my most cynical negative read of the white supremacists among them is that they welcome the mass winnowing of black folks in order to slow demographic shifts and shore up political power.
Busted.
Absolutely despicable.
White people have been busted.
Garbage. I can't take this stuff. Oh, man. Just the sheer racism that she's exhibiting there.
Yeah.
That's really despicable stuff. But, you know, this Trump syndrome, the derangement of the people who hate him so much is such that it's splitting up families. We have this bride-to-be whose family won't participate in her marriage. Her dad won't walk her down the aisle because she's marrying a Trump supporter. Check this out.
So my parents hate my fiance because he's a conservative and they're liberal, and they refused to go to our wedding, and they gave me an ultimatum of choosing between him or them. So I chose myself, in that I chose what would make me happiest in the long run. And my mother told me I wasn't capable of being loved or being in a relationship because I was assaulted when I was 17. So I chose my fiance. And I will be walking myself down the aisle in December. So if anyone has a dad that would like to walk me down the aisle, let me know.
How sad is that?
Man, and you know, at
Really,
the very
really
end
sad.
there, that was genuine heartache.
Oh, yeah.
Like her face just, let me know.
Isn't there like an effort to try to get President Trump to walk her down the aisle?
There's a movement to try to get him
I think
to
that would be really cool.
Wouldn't that be something?
I mean, I don't know that he can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you certainly couldn't do that for everybody. The requests would start pouring in.
Right.
But, you know, just do it this once. That would be really cool. And if any president would do something like that, I think it would be this one. I think Trump would be the most likely to maybe try to pull something like that off. That's just heartbreaking. How can you disown your daughter like that?
I mean, that's how
because she's marrying, you know, over politics.
Yes, that's how sick we are as a country. We've got families, like you just said, breaking up over this.
Pretty sick, yeah.
Not attending the most special moment in their daughter's life For real?
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
I can't.
Well, Mother's Day is what? 4 days away? 4 or 5?
4? Let's do 4.
Sunday. It's Sunday, so
there you go.
It's already coming up. It's a little early this year. And so I guess it's always the second weekend in May. Is that right? The second Sunday in May?
Mm-hmm.
And so this one's on May 10th. So that seems like it's soon. But don't let mom down. You know, they work harder, way harder than even they normally do in light of all that's going on right now. And they don't get days off. So at the Bouquets Company, short for bouquets, they've decided to celebrate Mother's Day all month long. Put smiles on mom's face each month with their flower subscription. Get 30% off, plus free shipping every time. Subscriptions are flexible, so you can pause, you can switch up delivery dates, or even recipients to cover all your bases. If you're not into a long-term commitment, try their gift trio for 3 months of farm fresh blooms. Do you know that Bouquets are responsibly sourced from some of the world's finest eco-friendly farms? They even have farms on the sides of volcanoes. So the flowers stay fresher longer. Order anytime between now and May 31st to show mom some love and gratitude. Say thanks for always being there, no matter what. Visit Bouquets.com/Pat. That's BOUQS.com/Pat. Place your order today. If you'd rather buy one bouquet, you can still receive 25% off at checkout by entering the promo code PAT. Maybe you can't give mom a hug right now with all this social distancing stuff, but you can brighten her day with the Bouquets Company. Bouquets.com/Pat.
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
And of course, most single Democrats would not consider being in a committed relationship with a Trump supporter.
Okay.
According to an online dating survey, a new Pew Research Center survey detailed the politics at play in dating. Around 7 in 10, so it's actually 71% of single Democrats wouldn't consider dating someone who voted for Trump.
I got news for you.
Wow.
I don't know that single conservatives are going to be too interested in far leftists either.
Yeah, if you're a Bernie supporter,
yeah.
I wouldn't want anything to do with you.
Seriously.
But in the survey, only 47% of Republican and right-leaning respondents said they wouldn't consider dating someone who voted for Hillary.
Oh, so they're more tolerating than the left.
Of course, by a lot.
Wow.
I mean, the left, they're nothing but fascists at this point. It's either their way or prison, pretty much at this point.
That's if you're lucky.
Yes.
You get prison.
Yeah, you might get a bullet in the head. This thing has gone completely out of control. 71% of their respondents, Democrats, said that they probably or definitely would not consider being in a committed relationship with a Trump supporter. 45% of whom said they definitely wouldn't consider it. He's just pathetic. Although, again, it does make some sense. If it's like a Bernie Sanders socialist type of person.
Can you imagine?
I don't think I could
Can you imagine
deal with that.
Spending the rest of your life with a far left loon?
Be really hard.
Come on. That's why, Woman of the Year every year is Mary Matalin, having to live with James Carville.
Mm.
And even he has become, as we've been Overton windowed.
Well, and you look at the Conways. Look at Kellyanne Conway and her husband.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So,
that's brutal because
how could you do that?
She works for him, and she's got her husband continually bashing him and trying to create some kind of chasm between them. There's a chasm there, that marriage. Could you not just say, hey, you know what? You're making things really hard for me at work.
Yeah.
Can you lighten up on that a little bit?
Yeah, that'd be impossible. And it's bad enough to think that your spouse is canceling out your vote every election cycle. But
right.
Not only that, but submarining your job and making your days that much more difficult at work.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it.
That's insane.
I don't know how those two stay together. Every day I think, I'm going to wake up, and I think about this every single day. I'm going to wake up, and I'm going to see that the Conways have split up.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it never happens. It surprised me for quite some time now. All right. 888-900-3393. We had an online poll that we conducted yesterday on Twitter. If and when a vaccine is developed, will you take it? Now, there was also another poll that a third of Americans, 1/3, say they won't get vaccinated against the coronavirus.
Yeah, it was ironic that story popped up.
Yeah, the same day.
Yeah, so we were polling Pat Heads at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, and at the same time this story broke, the results were completely diametrically opposed to one another. So the story says what? A third will not?
1/3 will not.
And our Pat poll right there, nope, closer, there you go. The results show that just the exact opposite.
73.3% will not?
Yeah.
I figured it might be, a little more with our audience, but 73% won't get it, and 26.7% will. Wow.
Yep.
Okay, so
I'm in the majority of that one.
If you won't get the vaccine, why? What's the reasoning behind that? Do you think, are you concerned they're going to put something in the vaccine to track you?
No.
That there's something in it that will cause harm, like autism or something?
I think eventually.
What is the fear there?
I think eventually they'll track you, but I don't think that's this go around. But and it's not an autism thing either. It's just.
What is it?
I'm not trusting more chemicals being injected in my body. I don't get the flu shot either.
I've never received a flu shot.
And and before everyone goes, oh my gosh, Keith's an anti-vaxxer. No, I'm overdue for a tetanus shot, and the next time I go to a doctor, I'm going to get that. Okay, I get shots. I get preventative maintenance to my body, although it still falls apart. But I see no need for this. This is nonsense. This is not. I'm not going to wear a mask in a parking lot either. If I can catch a virus by just the air blowing in public, then just take me now, because that's I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to take these precautions like this. I'm not doing it, man.
All right, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. 888-900-3393. If you're not going to get the vaccine, why not? 888-900-3393. Because I think that's fascinating. It's interesting. It's interesting. And there is a number of people who can call.
Yeah.
We just gave it to you.
888-900-3393. Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not big on putting stuff into my body, especially on this rushed schedule that is. Obviously, we're moving up the clock on all of this stuff, and I just don't. Above all, I just don't think it's necessary. So why am I going to pursue something that I don't think is necessary?
If it keeps you from getting the disease, isn't
okay? But let's say
a good enough reason?
It is not, because let's say that I get the disease. Then what's the chances of me dying? What are we down to? What percent now? It's not worth the trade-off, because I don't want to find out also down the line, oh my gosh, I guess there was something in this vaccine that really sucks for everybody. Sorry, y'all. It's just like Trump says, don't let the cure be worse than what's going on here, than the ailment. And there's always that possibility too. But I just don't think it's necessary. I'm just not convinced that this is as big enough of a deal for me personally to inject something into my body, especially on this rush time frame here. Like I said, I'll get the tetanus shot. I'm not getting the coronavirus vaccine at this point in my life. Now, when I'm high risk, then come back to me. When I get older,
your risk of getting tetanus is a lot lower than your risk of getting coronavirus.
Is it? Have you seen me around the yard? Have you seen me with power tools?
No, I have not.
Okay. So anyhow, I just don't see that it's necessary to have in my life.
All right. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We'd love to hear your thoughts. By the way, these fever reading drones that are flying around, just the first wave of some privacy challenges, according to civil libertarians. Plus, many people are now saying they didn't even have a fever when they got the disease. So the fever at one point was considered, if you've got a fever, you almost certainly had coronavirus, it seemed.
That was the tip-off.
And now because if you didn't have a fever, you couldn't even get tested. Now they're saying about 30% of people have the fever. What? 30%? But you're going to do fever reading drones now?
Yeah, and I saw another story that says, remember we were hypothesizing yesterday this thing's been in the circulation longer than we anticipated. There was a story, I think it was CNN, that just said, this thing's been going on for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we don't even...
You don't even know what to believe
We didn't
anymore.
know when we had it, but yet now we're going to have a vaccine to prevent when we do have it?
Crazy.
Sure.
Police departments in Daytona Beach, Florida, and in Connecticut unveiled what was initially touted as a potential new tool against a pandemic. Drones capable of taking a person's temperature from 300 feet in the air. Wow. Well, that's impressive. That's impressive. Both agencies quickly backtracked on using them to track the coronavirus after backlash from civil liberty groups, warning about the implications of a big doctor in the sky. Like Big Brother, Big Doctor, singling out people simply for running a fever when it might be nothing more than a common and less deadly flu. The drones are just one example of some civil rights advocates' fears that there could be a looming wave of intrusive technology and constitutionally questionable measures pushed by government. Yeah, almost everything they've done so far is constitutionally questionable. Already, they point out thermal cameras have been installed at the criminal courthouse in Miami. Governors in Massachusetts and Alabama have signed executive orders telling local health agencies to give first responders the addresses of anyone who has tested positive for COVID-19. Google and Apple, of course, as we've discussed several times, they're working on a cell phone application that could inform someone on the other end of the call that they're speaking with a virus carrier.
Wow. Okay. No, this is good.
Wow.
We're good. We're good.
Authoritarian countries like China, already with poor human rights records, have tightened the screws even further. Chinese who don't agree to constant surveillance are forced to be locked down in their homes or face arrest. When we scoff at the Chinese, we're doing the same stuff here.
Yes, we are.
What's the difference now between oppression in China and oppression in the United States of America? Very little difference right now. Very little difference. We've got to stand up and say, okay, enough.
Do you trust this government to force you to take a vaccine?
Yeah, and they probably will. I mean, it'll probably be mandated.
I mean, this is the discussion we had yesterday.
Yeah.
A workplace has every right to, right?
Yes.
To demand that. Mm-hmm. Can't argue with that.
And then you decide whether or not you want to work there.
Precisely. I mean, it would suck, but I would have no problem as a libertarian if that were the case. But as far as a government,
yeah,
you good with that?
Well, no, I don't want them to mandate it. No. 888-900-3393. If you were hoping to go to the range anytime soon to practice, good luck with that. Between social distancing, leftist politicians closing gun stores, and treating the Second Amendment as non-essential, millions of Americans are without a place to safely practice with their firearm. But thankfully, there is iTarget Pro. No matter what the environment is in the country, you can turn to iTarget Pro because you're firing a gun without a bullet in it. It's got a laser bullet, so that shows you where your shots are hitting on the target, and it makes it completely safe. You can use it in the comfort and privacy of your own home with your children, with them just watching or participating. Dry fire training is great because it develops muscle memory, helps with target reaction speed and sight alignment, all kinds of things. iTarget Pro comes in all major calibers, including .223 and .556, so you can stay sharp with virtually any firearm. Right now, get 10% off plus free shipping with the offer code PAT. iTargetPro.com, offer code PAT. Just keep in mind, if you would, this.
Soap and water.
Okay, when you're trying
all you need.
When you're trying to figure out how to wash your hands, those are two important elements: soap and
fish guts.
No, it's water. I know. I have the same problem, Keith.
Yeah.
Same problem.
My bad.
Golly. And the other thing to keep in mind is we're all in this together. We're all in this together. So
I'm pretty much flying solo at this point.
So all of us either take the vaccine or we all don't take the vaccine. But what we need to do is mandate one or the other. You must take the vaccine or nobody gets it, because we're all in this together. Okay? Either we all starve to death or we all eat. We're all in this together.
Can we all eat and we all not get the vaccine? That's my perfect scenario.
All eat and get the vaccine?
And not get
asking a lot.
I said not
and
get
not,
the...
Yeah. I think that's asking a lot. We'll see. We'll see. We're going to get to Jeffy and chewing the fat in just a second, but I asked about if you're not going to get the vaccine, why not? Let's talk to Joshua in North Carolina. Hey, Joshua, you're on the Blaze.
Hey, how are you guys?
Doing good.
Good. So essentially, what I was getting back was I would not take the vaccine.
Okay.
And the reason is because back in the early February, I was delivering pizzas in eastern North Carolina, so the Rocky Mount area of North Carolina. And I ended up with one night I ended up with a temperature of 104 degrees.
Oof.
I ended up getting hospitalized for a week and came out with a heart problem because I had actually taken ibuprofen to get that temperature down. Okay?
Yeah.
So I literally ticked off every symptom that is this virus. And I actually tested for not having the flu.
Okay. So there's a really good chance you had it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, okay, there's a really good chance I had it, and I can show you medical records, everything else. Okay? But they didn't know, they didn't test for it then. They didn't know what it was. They wouldn't even have tests for it at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. We appreciate the call. Thanks, Joshua. If I believed I already had it, I probably wouldn't get the vaccine either, because you have the antibody then. Now, they don't even know, though, what that means.
That's just it.
They don't know if that means that you're less likely to get it, or you're not going to get it, or you've got the same chance to get it. They've actually found people who've gotten it 3 times now.
See, that's the thing. We don't even understand how this thing operates. It affects everybody differently. This thing hasn't existed for more than 6 months. And yet has it. And I'm supposed to just trust the solution to this problem that we don't even have a firm understanding of by having you inject something into my body?
Cynical. Gosh, why can't you trust your government?
Oh, how much time you got? It's only a 2-hour show.
Sharon in Florida, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Good morning.
Morning.
Well, I would not take it because I remember a number of years back, the H1N1, they put many things in that vaccine that destroyed your immune system. So I have no doubt that they would probably do that with this, so that you have to start all over with building your immune system.
I didn't know that about the H1N1. First of all, I didn't know they had a vaccine for it. Secondly, I didn't know it destroyed your immune system.
Yeah, they came out with a bunch of different studies after they had released the vaccine and said that it would destroy your immune system just to give you immunity to that virus.
That doesn't seem reasonable. Huh. All right, we'll have to look into that. Thanks a lot, Sharon. Appreciate it. 888-900-3393. I know there are people who think, because they give you a version of the disease so that your body develops the immunity to that. For instance, polio.
Yeah.
You've got a weakened version of polio to fight off the actual disease. And because your body then fought it off, developed that immune system to overcome polio. And that's how we beat that. But there were actual cases of people getting polio, full-fledged polio, like my older brother got that, got polio from the vaccine, which is pretty frightening.
Yeah.
And so that can happen. I think it's rare. And I think in the case of polio, it was like, I don't know, 1 in 100,000 or something like that. I'd have to look up the stats again. But a really remote chance. But it happened. It happens. And you could be that one person in 100,000. So that's a little scary. 888-900-3393. We will get back to your calls coming up here. First, Let's check in
I can remember.
with Jeffy and chewing the fat.
Hi.
Jay Jeffy.
Hi.
So let me ask you this.
Oh, boy.
If there is a vaccine, would you
Just give it to me.
Yeah, you would get it. Yeah, I would too. I would too. Right.
Whatever.
Well,
I
mean, I have some pre-existing conditions. You have every pre-existing condition.
He is a pre-existing condition.
So it makes sense for you to get it if it comes
I remember
along.
taking one for H1N1, though. I mean, I barely remembered the disease happening, let alone taking a vaccine.
Right. Yeah, I've never heard of the H1N1 vaccine, but
yeah, I absolutely. I mean, now's the time. Right? We have 70% of our listeners wandering around breathing the disease on me because they won't take it. Just give it to me. I'll take a shot.
Yeah.
Problem. I mean, it was scary enough. I decided that since it was okay, I was gonna, attempt to go outside this past weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I got dressed up.
Mm-hmm.
I am fashion. Hello. So I got myself all dressed up and I documented it. On my social media accounts. I decided that, if you're watching on Blaze TV, you watch the sequence. I've decided that I was going to, attempt to get outside. The actual process was kind of scary.
Yeah, well, it looks like you're being very careful there.
Wow.
I am.
We're seeing a series of photos with you just kind of peeking out, seeing if it's safe, and then deciding it isn't. And
I dumped up the masks so that I'd be safer. So I went outside. So, I mean, it's a scary time. It's a scary time. But I did venture out. I didn't stay out long.
Mm-hmm.
And I went right back.
It looked like you were out for about 3 seconds. Yeah. Is what it looked like there.
Yeah. Well, that's about.
You about right? Yeah.
Back. I went right back in.
All right.
Hey, Tara Reid.
Mm-hmm.
Tara Reid is upset. The Tara Reid, R-E-I-D, the actress, wants everyone to stop confusing her with Tara Reid.
Oh, yeah.
The Biden accuser. All right?
That's right. That must be because you would think, wow, Tara Reid, he's got good taste, in women. No.
She's tired of seeing the social media posts, like this one from Primetime Purity, who said Tara has had countless opportunities to grow as an actress. She's been in the industry for more than 20 years, but instead she insists on starring in 5 Sharknado movies. Now she's claiming Joe Biden sexually assaulted her. It won't work. Resist. And she wants people to know.
That's not her.
Not me.
Yeah.
You've got the wrong.
That's funny.
Tara.
That's funny. What do we know her from? Was she in Melrose Place? Is that what it was? What was Tara Reid? Oh, Beverly Hills 90210. Oh, right?
Really?
No. I think maybe not.
Sharknado movies. I mean, the Sharknado
Just
movies.
Sharknado? Is that all we know her from? Nah, she's been in something other than that. Well, look, I'm going to look that up.
She asked the questions, are people that stupid? I've done a lot over the years, but not this. I don't know Joe Biden. I know about him, but I'm not into politics. The wrong person to bring into politics is me. So just remember, Tara Reid is not Tara Reid.
Okay, so I guess
Gotcha.
American Pie, is that right? She was in that?
Yeah, that's right.
And then
All right.
Martin tells me Big Lebowski.
Okay. I've seen neither of those
Me
movies.
either.
How do I know her? Let's see. Oh, she was in Aquatic Siege, which it's only in pre-production, so that hasn't come out yet. Nobody's seen it.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm looking. Well, she's done a lot lately. She's in a lot of things that are in pre and post-production. American Christmas. I bet that's a Hallmark movie. What do you want to bet? Let's see. Fifth Borough. Andy the Talking Hedgehog. How did that one get past me?
That's in your queue.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta order that today. Christmas Manger. Another. She's been in some Christmas movies. The Last Sharknado. It's About Time, of course. She was in that. Ouija House. Wow, there's nothing I know here.
You said Ouija House like you hadn't seen it.
Strangely enough, I have not. I may be the only person alive who still hasn't seen Ouija House.
She used to be engaged to Carson Daly, I see.
Okay. She was in a few Scrubs episodes, it looks like.
There you go.
But I didn't watch that either. So what do I know her from? What in the world do I know her from? Because I know that American Pie and American Pie 2, which I haven't seen, Josie and the Pussycats, which I didn't see, Dr. T and the Women.
Are you even watching TV?
No. I don't even own a TV. Yeah, Big Lebowski. That's about it. I mean, she's only been in a few things that anybody knows.
By the way, you laugh. I don't own a TV. Do I even own TV? Why would you right now? Without sports, it's almost pointless to have a TV.
I disagree.
Right?
So there's plenty to watch.
And by the way, you were talking about the stone skipping thing, right?
Yeah.
And I threw out there, I just said, I bet an average WNBA game doesn't get as many viewers as...
So, did you look it up?
No, I didn't. I told you I'm not doing that. That's a producer's job. So Drizzle 1211 found this information for us that... 247,000 people watched the World Cup of Dodgeball on ESPN2.
Is that the one with the jugglers, or is that just regular dodgeball?
I don't know. And that was in 2017. Okay, so 247,000 people. So that was back during normal times. And then I looked up and I found an article that said the average WNBA audience was 250,000. So you're right. The WNBA outdraws dodgeball by 3,000 total viewers.
Oh my gosh. That is incredible.
250 to 247.
Tell me, come on now. Okay. Tell me women should make the same amount of money as men in certain sports.
That's because their fans are all going to the games, right? They're just packing these arenas tight, filled with...
Yeah.
I don't think there's no right-thinking human being that thinks women should make less than men. But when you're doing a competition event like that, when you're in a sport and revenue is the key to paying your employees, doesn't that make sense? When you're bringing in more revenue, you're going to make more money.
It does. But ESPN is now airing Korean baseball, right? They just started airing live Korean baseball every day, so you do get some live fresh baseball games every day. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have a fight on our hands as well. The U.S. Blue Angels, they're flying over DFW
today.
Tribute to the workers on the front lines of the pandemic.
Yeah.
They starts at 11 a.m. our time over Dallas, about 35 minutes.
I'm going to start looking up beginning at 8 o'clock when the show ends Central Time. I'm going to start looking up at the sky at 8 this morning, just so I don't miss it. Just so I don't miss it.
And they're doing New Orleans and Houston today as well.
Okay.
But the fight that I'm referring to is going on within the America Strong campaign. Because this all started, remember, with the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds. That's how it was announced. Blue Angels, Thunderbirds to conduct multi-city flyovers, championing national unity behind frontline responders. And they've already done a few cities together. But then Monday, no more. They announced that no additional joint flyovers. The Blue Angels, for now, are doing it all by themselves. The Thunderbirds, I guess, tucked their wings between their tail and went back home.
Did they have some sort of falling out between the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds?
That's what I don't know. They claim that they're going to announce, the Thunderbirds are going to announce some separate dates and cities, sometime later down the road. But I can't wait to hear what happened. I think, some kind of fight happened.
Huh. Wow.
And just really strange.
Yeah, I tweeted out, for those in North Texas, I tweeted out the map. So, Pat, you'll want to, here in Irving, you'll want to look up about 11:15 this morning. Because you don't want to miss the Blue Angels.
It's going to start at 8.
No, I don't. No, I do not. I don't want to miss it. So that's why I'm going to start way sooner than 11:15.
Yeah, because you'll be able to see them, off to the, just look to the right.
Okay, just look up to the right.
Just look up to the right. You'll
All
see.
right. Okay.
Sure, we have Tom Cruise and Elon Musk's SpaceX working on a project with NASA that talks about being the first feature film, an action adventure shot in outer space. Sure, that project sounds kind of cool. But the most important filming project announced in the last couple of days was Nicolas Cage, soon to make his television debut, playing the Tiger King.
I saw that. Yeah, that's interesting.
I know it's going to be called A Dark Journey into the World of a Man Gone Wild. An 8-episode series is fantastic. He's also he's playing Joe Exotic, the gay gun-toting cowboy with a mullet, but he's also going to executive produce it. So, I mean, you might as well ride the wave, get it out soon.
Yep.
Man, start filming as soon as you can on that.
Might
And
as
in
well.
that story, I found out, I didn't realize that Carol Baskin from Tampa, before the Netflix series on Joe Exotic aired, she had already signed a deal about a biopic of her own, starring Saturday Night Live's Kate McKinnon. So, I mean, we have that to look forward to, too. I don't know how exciting that particular biopic will be, but unless she shows her
biopic. It's not biopic. It's biopic.
No, she calls it biopic.
Biopic.
She calls it that.
Does she? Okay. All right.
Do you know Carol?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
I don't want to hear it then. Big news for graduates, too. Big news for graduates. YouTube pumping up 2020 virtual pomp and circumstance. Year class of 2020. They're going to be including commencement addresses delivered by President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. And you're getting a joint message from them as well. So
I'm going to vomit. I'm just going to vomit right now. I am so sick of the Obamas.
Should we go to break?
The Reach Higher initiative is going to kick off an hour prior to the celebration. So it's going to be a multi-hour event coming up a month from today.
On every network, right? Like, this is going to be like an all-encompassing thing, right?
Well, for sure it's on the YouTube originals.
Wow.
Calendar. Mark your calendars.
All right. Consider it marked.
No.
I marked it psychically already in my psychic calendar. It's already marked.
I'd watch that before I got the vaccine. That's about it.
888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. More coming up. And great to have you with us. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. See, Team USA Stone Skipping Skip tweets. This is about the judge that threw the woman in jail for 7 days because she wouldn't apologize for disrespecting the authorities. Yes, Your Honor, I would like to respectively tell you to shove it. Yeah, that would have been great. The most despicable part of the whole thing is the admonishment of the judge. How dare you? Right.
How dare you?
But he got that from her. So, I mean, other than outside of the Cardinal Joe Tobin, really the next authority is Greta. Ben Rhodes tweets, "What's going on in Texas, Pat? From down under, we thought Texas was the last hope. Right? You've jailed someone for 7 days for opening a business? Sounds more like California or Victoria, where I'm from. Soldiers, let's see, Mangan Annam tweets, soldiers in the military follow orders. American citizens are governed by laws. Yes, and there's no law that says you can't reopen your salon. The Steve 42. So why is there a douchebag Soviet judge running a kangaroo court in the United States? And not just the United States, Texas. Yeah. Even more chilling.
This is what I said yesterday. Dallas is the East Berlin side of the wall here. Fort Worth is the West Berlin side. There we go.
Deuce 5 tweets, "Welcome to the United States, where earning a living is now akin to committing war crimes." Constitutional Nobody says, "I recall the Nazis telling people to close their business." Bronco Nagurski Fan Club, "Yes, let's round up people who aren't social distancing properly and throw them in jail where social distancing is almost impossible." It makes sense.
Isn't that why they released all these people in the first place?
Yes.
But now we're putting, got it.
Mustang Vet, except for the person we were talking about last week with the lawyer, with Russ Skousen, whose client is in prison, in a federal prison in California.
High risk.
It's Terminal Island, and that's only supposed to be the name of the place, not what actually happens to you when you get there. But he's high risk. He's got all kinds of pre-existing conditions, because that's where they put prisoners with pre-existing conditions, health problems. And now they've got the virus running rampant through the place, and they won't let him go. And he's a white-collar crime guy who's still in the appeals process.
Wow.
So, it's just not being administered uniformly across the country. Mustang Vet tweets, I'm waiting for the government to start charging business owners who open early with attempted murder. Oh, it'll happen.
Don't give them any ideas.
It'll happen. Keith Milleron, I agree with Keith on the vaccine. The timeline is way too fast to be trusted. From Kara 3022, unbelievable. I never thought I'd see the day when papers, please, would happen here. They're taking full advantage of your fears and have trained you well. Yep. From Bob Loblaw. Legend has it, if Jeffy walks out of his house and sees his shadow, we're going to have 6 more weeks of quarantine. Did you see your shadow, Jeffy?
Sorry, I did.
What? Dang it.
Yeah. Sorry.
From Wuhan, smallmouth bass Kurt. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I'll wait a bit. And if they order me, I definitely will not. I'm neither in public service nor the military any longer, so they can KMA. Kiss my ankles?
Kiss my ankles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A long time ago, way back in, I don't know, February, like the caller, I would have believed that they would never order us to take the vaccine. They would say, hey, we have a vaccine. It's out there. Go get it. Feel better. But that was a long time ago. That was in February. Now they're ready to order you to take it.
Yeah, right. That was when we were young and naive.
Yeah.
Back in, January, February. So we've learned a lot since then, haven't we?
Yes.
We've come a long way, baby, to get where we got to today.
Yes, we have.
Let's see. Bill I Am Matthews tweets, Jeffy is like a very large groundhog who is overweight.
Overweight. Wow.
Yeah,
there he is. Look at it.
There he is.
Ouch.
A very large
we're talking
groundhog.
Chernobyl groundhog.
Yes.
I understand what you're...
Yeah, I was just making sure.
And this from Natalie. My mother just randomly informed me that she likes Lester Holt. Hey, Jeffy, I guess your main man has a second fan.
Look at there.
Nice.
Isn't that fun?
Nice. Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you.
All right. We were asking earlier about if there's a vaccine, if and when a vaccine arrives on the scene. And it's voluntary. Because if it's mandatory, that's going to create a whole nother problem of people just getting their backs up and wanting to express their freedom, their liberty, and say, no, you can't force me to take this. So let's assume it's going to be voluntary. Are you going to take it? And if not, why? Is it some sort of, you're worried about what's in it? Because a lot of this vaccine stuff has supposedly been has disproven, I guess, by studies. They were thinking for a long time, and I had people. We have really close friends who have kids with 2 kids with autism, and they came to the conclusion that it was a vaccine. It was mercury in a vaccine or something, and then that was kind of shown not to be the case, and. So, but a lot of it continued to linger because of people like Jim Carrey and Jenny McCarthy, who continues to express herself on vaccines. Or is it something else? Do you just not trust other things that are in it? It's just the speed with which they develop this? What is it? 888-900-3393. Denise in Texas, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hi, how are you guys doing? No, you know what? That vaccine, if you believe what you read on the internet, comes from Bill Gates. You can find a picture of him holding up a vaccine that he's trying to put. No, he's sinister. I don't believe anything he says. I don't trust him.
Mm-hmm.
I would not take a vaccine, sorry. But real quick, Port Aransas, Texas was packed this weekend. It was a 2-hour wait for the ferry to come on this island.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and 3, I'm married to a libtard for 30 years. And these people are educated. It's the weirdest thing.
I know.
He works at NASA as an engineer, and he's stupid as hell.
Hopefully he's not listening right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's a liberal. He's probably not.
Yeah, it's probably true. All right, thanks, Denise.
Well, then.
That is awesome. And he's stupid as hell.
I mean, I thought we had pushed the envelope by calling your spouse a libtard, and then she went full stupid as hell. 30 years they've been married.
Wow.
It must work.
Now, okay, couple of things there. The Bill Gates thing, there is a foundation that he has donated to called Peer Bright or something like that they have developed a vaccine for some coronavirus strain, not this one. Okay, but Bill Gates is involved, and this gets conflated a little bit. Bill Gates is involved with this Manhattan-style project where billionaires and scientists have gotten together to try to create a vaccine. So he is involved in that. Quite honestly, I don't trust Bill Gates as far as I can throw the whole corporation of Microsoft either. I don't trust him at all because he's a zero population guy.
Thank you. I'm glad you threw that in there because if you weren't, I was going to.
And he has talked about limiting the population growth through vaccines. Now, how do you do that? Wait, vaccines help people stay alive. What do you mean you're going to limit it through vaccines? So are you killing people with vaccines? So, I mean, he has said some really weird things that caused me to distrust him. His dad was the head of Planned Parenthood, so he totally believes in abortion and stopping the population growth and all of that stuff.
Yeah, they just put sterilization in it, right? I mean, in your vaccine.
Possibly,
if you
yes.
Believe that, if you believe.
Right. But in this particular case, he is involved in a group of people who have gotten together and are spending a bunch of money and devoting all their time to coming up with a vaccine for this particular coronavirus strain. 888-900-3393. Dan in Georgia, you're on the Blaze.
Yeah, you guys haven't talked about that documentary that came out a few years ago, Live Free or Die Hard.
I know.
No, we haven't. That's true.
Well, if you were going to bring down a whole economy, you'd have a fire sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you would.
And what's better than a coronavirus to have a fire sale?
That's true. It would certainly work for that purpose. Thanks a lot, Dad. Appreciate it.
I love that documentary, too.
So many do. Kevin in Arizona, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Listen, I was just thinking a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
The people who would take the first vaccine or the first wave of vaccine are like the people who ran out and bought Windows 98. The same group of people. So, I
wouldn't take it.
I wouldn't do the first wave of virus vaccines.
All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Kevin. Susan in Oklahoma. Hi, you're on the Blaze.
Yeah. I wouldn't take it either.
Wow.
Bill Gates got kicked out of India because of this polio vaccine and how it destroyed the young kids there. And, I've worked for about 4 corporations that offered free immunization if we wanted to take a flu shot.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't mandatory. And if I wouldn't take that, which I've never had a flu shot, I sure wouldn't take Bill Gates's immunization shot.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Susan. Anybody else familiar with the polio vaccine in India that Bill Gates
No.
I thought that was a Jonas Salk situation from many years before Bill Gates.
It's not every day you get a
not familiar
Jonas
with that.
Salk reference on the program.
No, it's not.
That's awesome.
But when polio comes up, who's the first name that comes to mind?
Yeah, let's see. I don't know. 2014, something was going on with polio in India.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, fact check. No, India is not suing Bill Gates for... Okay, so apparently that is some kind of...
Well, she didn't say they were suing him. She just said he got kicked out.
Yeah.
They just kicked him out of India.
According to a fact check, there's this story on Bill Gates is definitely not true. And that's the case a lot of times on these stories, but we'll look into it. Ash in Ohio, you're on the Blaze. Hi. Hey, Ash.
Mm-hmm.
We lost him. Oh, no. We lost him. Just getting to know Ash.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm here.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi.
So, no, I wouldn't take the vaccine. I have so many reasons. It was hard to pick just one.
Reason number one. Let's just go through them.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Because the mindset is it keeps us dependent on the government, right? We're all not for that.
Yeah.
So, versus learning ways to empower and heal ourselves. I know it sounds hippy-dippy, but there's a lot of things that you can do for your immune system.
Yeah.
Versus looking outward, outside of ourselves.
Okay.
Number two, well, if you want to go down the polio virus road, there was a lot going on when they said that the polio virus was decreasing. They thought it was the vaccine. It wasn't. The reason polio came around was the orchards started spraying around that same time pesticides. That's a huge reason. You can find it in Dissolving Illusions, the book by Dr. Suzanne Humphrey. She's spent, I don't know, almost a decade researching this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not been disproven about the vaccines. There's so much proof to say the contrary. You just have to dig a little bit deeper, I think.
Are you talking about the mercury or the cause of autism? Is that what you're alluding to? That it causes autism?
Well, I mean, if you want to say cause, I could be easily refuted with that word,
Yeah.
Highly correlated.
Okay.
I get that argument, but... And many other diseases. I mean, it's never actually been proven that vaccines help anything. And there are no placebo studies if you really want to go through it for any of them. But I digress. There's a lot of books out there. You guys can read and do your own research. And COVID has similar symptoms to radiation poisoning. So I don't know if you want to look into that, but...
I do now. I do now. Thanks, Ash. Appreciate it. Wow, COVID and radiation poisoning. Huh, okay. 888-900-3393. So Ash's point is there's apparently never been a vaccine that's actually eradicated a disease. It seems like there's not a lot of polio around anymore. It seems like there's not very many measles cases. I'm not sure I believe that.
That's because we've been social distancing.
Is that what it is?
It's worked to perfection.
Okay. All right. All right. Let me take 60 seconds and tell you about Patriot Mobile. In addition to Patriot Mobile's really generous support of Mercury One, they've gone above and beyond to help Americans stay in touch with loved ones during this really tough time by lowering their prices even further. Right now, their U.S.-based team is standing by to design your customized family plan starting at just $25 a month. Patriot Mobile shares your values. They'll never charge you hidden fees. And unlike Big Mobile, they won't send your hard-earned money to Planned Parenthood or other leftist causes. And you get the same reliable nationwide service, and you support a company that shares your values, rather than a company that fights against everything in which you believe. Right now, when you join their family of freedom-loving Americans, they'll waive your activation fee and send you a free gift with the offer code PAT. So call 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT, or visit patriotmobile.com/Pat and get your customized family plan today, starting as low as just $25 a month. 972-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com/Pat. Welcome to it. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Rebel Libertarian tweets, I'm with Keith. Food, yes. Ronavax, no. Why would I trust the same government to forcibly medicate me for my own good when they think they can control the climate? Smallmouth Bass Kurt, now we know why there's a shortage of PPE. All the material was used to make them big enough for Jeffy to use.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Okay.
It's fine.
It's fine. Then, so you're not hurt by that, right?
It's funny.
Yeah,
No, it's funny.
It's funny.
He's laughing. He's laughing with us.
Yeah. We're not laughing at you. We're laughing near you and not so near you because of social distancing.
Well, you're always near Jeffy.
So Imaginary F tweets, I hope this virus doesn't run over into tick season or else we might get corona with Lyme.
That reminds me.
Get it?
That reminds
what
me
they did there?
Of a nice meme that was going around yesterday. It's Rod Serling from Twilight Zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Imagine, if you will, a world where Cinco de Mayo falls on Taco Tuesday only to be ruined by a virus named after a Mexican beer.
That's good.
It's very good.
That's funny. Sabes84, be honest. we all saw Jeffy's shadow.
Oh, man. Wow.
See, that's another really funny.
It's funny, right?
So which one's funnier?
Yeah.
The PPE material running out or the shadow thing? Which do you like?
Both. You can't say which one is better because they're both really funny.
It's true, right? That's true. You really
That's
mean
what
that.
I said.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I noticed that you were wearing a mask as you went out. So do you wear a mask anytime you go out anywhere?
Like, are you going out? Like, are you going anywhere?
Rarely am I going out. And
Yeah.
I have not. No. I mean,
You have not worn a mask? Really?
I have the it's a stupid head bandana thing that you can pull up over your face for a mask if I went out, other than wearing the N95 mask that we have.
Oh.
But, I haven't worn one out. When I go out, no,
Yeah.
I have not.
Yeah, I haven't either. I've not once worn a mask. I do see people at the store when I go or wherever wearing masks, especially older people, such as yourself, Jeffy, people who are really, really, really aged.
Yes.
We call that high risk.
Yeah. And that's probably a good thing when the
I
older
agree.
people are wearing masks or staying home.
Yeah.
For the rest of us, I don't know. It just doesn't. First of all, they said the masks, even if you wear them, they don't work. Then they said, well, yeah, it does. It protects you from it. Then we heard, it protects other people, but not you. Well, okay, I have no idea whether it works or it doesn't work now, even the N95 ones. I guess they do because they're wearing them at hospitals. And you hope that they're not wasting their time and effort at hospitals.
Well, you remember that video we saw, I don't know where it was out of them making those masks. And they were just in a sweatshop on the floor. Guy was barefoot, pounding them out. Oh,
the Chinese masks?
Yeah.
Oh, my
I don't know where
gosh.
that was. But
Nightmare.
How about this? How about another Pat poll today? Because we had 73% say they're not getting the vaccine.
Right.
How about we do this? Generally speaking, when you have a choice, how often do you wear a mask when you go out in public? Right now, like how often at this moment are you doing that? Maybe we make the choices always, sometimes, never. See what happens?
Yeah.
So be looking for
I mean,
that.
that's the thing, right? When you have a choice, so many places now are mandating, which is really frustrating.
Yeah.
That you have to wear a mask. That's very frustrating.
Because they're hard to get, for one thing, and you can only use them once, and then you throw it away.
Well, if you use those N95 masks, now you can have they just want you covered up your face, right? So you can use the material like the bandanas and stuff that you can just pull up, and that's a mask, right? You've got your face covering. They'll be fine with that. You don't have, not necessarily, you're not, that's not the official mask. You have the official government stamped mask. That will come, but it's not there yet.
No kidding. Yeah, that will come. Absolutely. All right, 888-900-3393. We've been talking about whether or not you'll get a vaccine if and when it comes. Jeremy in Florida, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hey, I'd ask how you guys are doing, but I don't care.
Okay, good. Well, thank you for being upfront about that. I appreciate it.
No. Now, my cousin lives in Manhattan, and she got it and died. That was confirmed. They was in hospital for it. And we believe that her mother back in March died of it, even though it was early March and it wasn't really being tested for, but she had all the symptoms. Now, who knows? Could have just been the flu and her pre-existing conditions, but we believe that it's that. But the simple reason I won't get a vaccine is why I won't wear masks or gloves, because I just want people to die.
Okay, well, thank you for admitting that as well. Appreciate it, Jeremy. There's a guy who's honest. He doesn't care how we're doing, which is awesome, because I don't want to tell you anyway. And he just wants people to die. Finally, a conservative who just is willing to be honest and open and upfront and say, yep, I just want people to die.
He literally is taking off his mask. That's it.
Hey-o.
In more ways than one.
No laugh track or rim shot or anything? All right, yeah.
Maybe not in the right order or not the right timing, but I got them both in.
There.
Got them both in. All right, much more coming up in our final half hour of the day on Pat Gray Unleashed. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Jonathan Harris tweets, I'd trust consumption of a bat from the wet market in Wuhan before I'd trust a vaccine that Bill Gates had anything to do with.
Wow, that's a tough one. That's a coin flip.
Oh, man. BX Hammo 1, we really did wipe out smallpox with vaccines. Of course, CDC and a couple other labs have samples just in case. It could make a comeback.
Boy, seriously.
Yep. Obi-Gyne Kenobi, since you forgot about May the 4th be with you, don't forget today is Revenge of the 6th.
Heyo.
You're welcome. Okay. All righty.
That's right, yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, there was a stormtrooper in Canada that almost lost her life. There's a woman out in public wearing a stormtrooper outfit, and apparently she had a Star Wars blaster with her. And here's what happened to her out in public.
And this is just a small town in Alberta. This is out west, man. This is like, stop. Wait, look at this. The
oh my
cops
gosh!
Surround her.
What?
She's carrying
a blaster,
a terrible weapon,
a toy.
Look at that! You're yelling at her. Get on the ground.
Stop.
Get down on the ground, stormtrooper. Holy cow! Seriously?
She complies.
Yes.
And trying to take the helmet. Don't you touch your helmet? Just
I mean, this is
down.
ridiculous.
It's a
Asinine.
plastic gun. The guy over here at the store is yelling, "It's a plastic gun." And see, I think she was out
Unreal.
front there to advertise for his store.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah. Now, do they cuff her?
Oh, they cuff her. She's crying. It's ugly.
Oh my gosh! Tell me they didn't arrest her.
Still
right?
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if they detained her. Hang on. I'll see if it was an arrest.
There can't be. That is. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Wow, have we seen a lot of law enforcement abuse lately? Jeez. And of course, we support law enforcement, but not when they're doing stupid, asinine things like that. Yeah. Come on. That's.
I don't know that they. Oh my gosh.
Use your noodle, would you please?
You know what started this? Police responded to 2 911 calls. So the citizens themselves are the ones that...
There's a stormtrooper in front of a business downtown.
Yeah.
And she's armed with a blaster. She could be killing people any moment.
Yeah, you know a Star Wars blaster isn't real, ma'am?
No, she's wearing a real stormtrooper outfit and has a real blaster.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a real blaster. And then you hang up on him. That's
how that works?
That's how that works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't go down and cuff her and arrest her. Hopefully she wasn't arrested.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. It looks like she was just detained there briefly.
Oh, my gosh.
But yeah.
I love the distinction now that we've seen all over in this country and other countries since that was in Canada. The distinction between, well, sure, we threw him to the ground and handcuffed him and detained him, but we didn't arrest him.
Yeah, at least we didn't take him down and put him in jail. We didn't put him in prison for life.
We just threw him in the back of the car in handcuffs for a while.
We handcuffed him, put our knee in their back, beat the crap out of him, put him in the cruiser, and then we let him go.
Yeah, we didn't arrest him.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't even play the video yesterday in New York.
Where they beat that guy? That gigantic cop who's like 4 times the size of that guy?
He's on, I don't know, they're on leave right now or something while they investigate.
Yeah. He slapped him around, hit him.
Dragged him out of the street and beat the crap out of him.
Why?
Because he walked up to him.
He wasn't social distancing.
That's right.
He wasn't social distancing. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, you should have killed the guy.
I'm telling you,
a genocidal
you can't
maniac.
give people ideas in the year 2020.
I know. Okay, Judy, in Pennsylvania, don't actually kill people for not social distancing. Okay, it's not okay. Let me tell you.
Feels like it's coming though.
It does. It does feel that way. Let me tell you about a couple of guys that were both losing their hair. They both had the dreaded male pattern baldness. Take off your hat, Keith. Let me show what that looks like.
Why?
Real quick.
What are we doing here?
We're just doing there it is. There's
Ta-da.
the male pattern baldness, right? If it runs in your family, it sucks. And it runs in everybody's family, frankly. Eventually, you're going to get some form of it. We're either right down the middle or that big patch in the back like mine's starting to do, or you lose it. Nobody ever loses it on the sides, it seems like. It's always just where it's most noticeable, right on top, right in the front. Stop! Well, there is something you could do about it. It's called Keeps. Keeps offers the generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products, so it saves you a whole bunch of money. All you do is go online from the comfort and privacy of your own home. You don't have to go visit a doctor, but a doctor will evaluate all your information. You take some pictures of your hair. He'll analyze everything and then send you the right approved treatment for your situation. Keeps. It lets you keep your hair without leaving your couch. And to get you started, we're going to give you half off the price. Yeah, 50% off. Go to keeps.com/Pat. That's keeps.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
What are we looking like on the mask situation?
Generally speaking, when you have a choice, how often do you wear a mask when you go out in public? Always just 7%. Sometimes 30%, and then never 63%.
Okay. I'm in the majority this time. 63%. I'm in the vast minority on the vaccine thing because I will take it. I'm going to take it. I don't think they're. I don't know. I mean, if it's Bill Gates involved, I'm not sure. So I'll have to rethink if it's Bill Gates is involved.
Does it make it more or less likely that you'll take it if the government says, not mandates, but says, we strongly suggest you get this?
Well, as long as they're not mandating, then I'm not that concerned about it.
I mean, government's got a great track record of fixing problems.
I have a couple of pre-existing conditions that are concerning.
That's
to me.
worth considering. Yes.
Yeah, and so I'm going to take it because, I got high blood pressure and something else I don't really want to talk about right now. But that's that's a consideration. And if you don't have a pre-existing condition, and if you feel fine about that, and especially if you're under 59, like where I am, if you're 30, I wouldn't get the vaccine either. I don't think. If I was 30, wouldn't worry about it at all. Because I don't get the flu vaccine ever. Never get the flu shot because I'm not worried about the flu.
What if you are asking for a friend, a 43-year-old male with just a propensity to injure themselves, but other than that, your health problems are pretty limited, if they exist at all, pretty healthy?
Yeah.
Would you take that?
No, I might not. I might not.
Okay.
Might not. If I was in your position.
Whoa! I was asking for a friend. What are you,
okay.
Pointing at me?
your friends. I'm sorry, your friends'
thank
position.
you.
Now Jeffy has every pre-existing condition.
Yeah.
And of course, they've recently said that obesity might be the biggest problem of all.
So I've got one thing going for me. I don't have to worry about that.
Big groundhog.
No, because you're just athletically overweight,
Thank
right?
you.
So you don't have that to worry about at all.
You've been working out a lot in quarantine, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I just had a cough. I think I have COVID-19. That's one of the signs,
Cough
right?
into your sleeve, bruh. Man.
There you go.
I mean, I don't have the vaccine, remember? You got to protect this delicate flower over here.
All right. 888-900-3393.
It's a tough one.
We got to show you this 5-year-old. Wanted to get to this yesterday, and we didn't get to it. But in Utah, a 5-year-old, well, first of all, Utah state troopers see this car weaving back and forth through traffic. Oh, here it is. And not doing driving his mom's car because I guess both the parents were at work or something, and I don't know who's watching this kid, but he got some keys.
He obviously had an important reason of why he's out.
Yeah, he's driving to California from Utah. He's on his way to California to buy a Lamborghini.
To buy a Lamborghini?
Yeah, he was really upset that his parents wouldn't buy him one, so he thought, well, I'll go get it myself then. He had $3 in his pocket. So...
Yeah, and then the trooper talked about his encounter after the fact. That was pretty interesting, too.
The young man was there. He was sitting on the front edge of the seat so that he could reach the brake pedal to keep the car stopped while I was standing there.
That's amazing.
And I helped him get the car into park.
Wow.
That's...
That kid is, I mean, there must have been angels watching over him, because how did he not die in that effort? Seriously, a 5-year-old driving, weaving back and forth through freeway traffic like that? And thank goodness for the quarantine, because otherwise there would have been a lot more people in the way of his weaving back and forth among the various lanes there.
The kid drove for about 3 miles.
Jeez, that's amazing.
And I'm looking
that's just amazing.
I want to know if he was actually driving west. I want to know if he was headed the right direction. Was he headed toward California? I don't see that in any story.
It looks like it was. Looks like he was on the Beltway there. Which
southbound I-15. There we go.
It was southbound I-15.
So he had to.
Okay. Well, yeah, you could eventually get to California from southbound I-15. You'd have to eventually turn west. But
yeah,
I'll get you there.
So Jeffy, could you get me? Could you get a hold of a Lamborghini for $3? Sounds like a Jeffy scam. I'm kind of wondering if.
That's a heck of a deal.
Yeah, it's a good deal. That really is.
I don't even think you could get a Hot Wheel Lamborghini for $3.
I don't think so. All right, let me take a minute and tell you about Omega XL. This is some great stuff. If you want to take something natural. If you're tired of taking medication that has side effects, this is a great way to go. Omega XL fights inflammation. And that's usually the root cause of the pain that we have, whether it's back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, leg pain, whatever kind, is often caused by inflammation. And if it's left untreated, it can cause permanent damage. Now, the pain relievers do have side effects, and they don't treat the problem. They just mask it. Omega XL, though, goes right to the inflammation to calm that down. It's backed by 30 years of research. Omega XL, it's a powerful natural supplement that reduces your pain due to inflammation and promotes healthy joints and increased mobility. It also can promote a healthy immune system. Got a special offer, too. If you buy one bottle, they're going to give you a second bottle for free. So essentially, you get half off when you buy 2 bottles. Omega XL. Go to omegaxl.com/Pat or call 800-844-4888, 800-844-4888, or omegaxl.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
By the way, speaking of Canada, as we were a few minutes ago with the stormtrooper that was almost killed because they were carrying a toy gun. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says the federal government in Canada is banning a range of assault-style guns with an order that takes effect immediately.
Oh, maybe those blasters were outlawed by Trudeau's signature.
Right. The cabinet order he describes doesn't forbid owning any of the 1,500 military-style weapons and their variants, but it does ban the trade in them, so you can't buy them anymore. Trudeau says the order has a 2-year amnesty period for current owners, and there will be a compensation program that will require a bill passed in Parliament. In an announcement, he cites numerous mass shootings. Ecole Polytechnic in 1989. They just had something in Nova Scotia last week.
Yeah.
It was really tragic. And so he's banning guns, 1,500 of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I guess, Canada. A prime minister's signature, poof, there go your guns.
You're done.
No
Isn't that
constitutional protection.
Wow, that's just amazing. Jeez. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Also, some other things that are going on that are fairly significant other than the coronavirus. There was an asteroid that came within, you won't believe this. Well, you might believe this. It seems like a long way, but it is not.
Jeffy, do you know
space.
this story about the asteroid we were going to talk about? Because you had mentioned
several.
Yeah, you mentioned an asteroid that was coming, and it was very close last week. You said, hey, Monday morning, I think you said it was, There's going to be an asteroid. How many miles was it? 4 million or so?
Well, yeah, last week was 4 million.
Okay.
I just missed this on Wednesday.
Check this one out.
This one is 4,350 miles away. And we didn't even know about it. We didn't detect it until it was 4,350 miles away.
I mean, seriously, that's like right there.
That is right there. That's like from Atlanta to Anchorage. From Dallas to Honolulu is 3,700 miles. So that's almost the same distance. That's how close this thing came to the Earth. It was only the size of a truck, so it wouldn't have destroyed the planet, but it would have caused a lot of damage.
I mean, seriously. First of all,
that's amazing.
This little asteroid, because it was a small, it was what size of a truck, they say.
Mm-hmm.
It almost feels like the undercard for a big boy that's headed for us, you know. And this is the year that would happen. Of course, 2020 would be the year of the asteroid slamming into the side of the planet.
Jeez.
I mean, seriously, what else can we do? We got the Yellowstone supervolcano. We could have, this might be that year. It's probably been waiting for this year as well. This year.
Why not? I mean, would it surprise anybody if the supervolcano erupted right now? That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, okay,
it's
what
been
else?
waiting for 2020 to this year. It happens. And of course, in Louisiana, you got that crazy chicken on the loose. They caught that thing yet, Jeffy? Yeah,
I don't know.
A seriously
I don't know if they've got it.
aggressive chicken on the loose in Louisiana.
Wow.
Let's just give up. Is it 2021 yet?
Nope.
Crap. I think I was saying that last year.
Yeah, here's
this year.
the problem. 2021 is not going to be any better.
Yeah.
So there's a happy thought for you. It only goes downhill from here.
Oh. How? No, I don't want to find out how. No, I take it back.
Yeah, you don't want to know right now. You know, let's just deal with this while we can.
Boy, remember the good old days when we had that virus and people wearing masks everywhere? Those were, you don't get
Good
those
times.
days back.
Those were good times, man. Remember
you can't
when
get some deals on travel, though. I mean, last week I talked about the deals going to Sicily, and they're talking about global travel demand not reaching its normal pace until 2023. Now,
I believe that. Wow, I believe that.
But there's good news on travel front because Carnival Cruise Lines has announced that it's going to resume sailing from select ports on August 1st. So
who's going to take a cruise now? Absolutely not. There's one thing I will not do.
For $28 a day.
Not doing it.
$28 a day? I mean, that's
$28. Really?
Cheaper than staying at home. Well, look, I think finally all the passengers are off the cruise lines, but there's still a few ships out there floating around with workers still on them with no place to go. Jeez. I mean, I guess they just pull up and you get on for $28 a day. Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not doing that either. Oof.
There is some other good news too. Frontier Airlines will allow passengers to social distance on their flights, but you got to pay just a little bit extra. But this is totally worth it to me. You can ensure that the middle seat in your row is empty for $39. I'm doing that every time. Oh my gosh, I'm doing that. Yeah, that's definitely worth it. Are you kidding me? To have the middle seat not occupied for $40 essentially?
Look,
you bet.
Okay, on the surface, what you say is totally worth it. $39 to have that extra room.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also said Frontier Airlines. So
well, yeah.
I'd like congratulations to the airlines for figuring out a way to charge me to keep that middle seat empty, because they were going to do it anyway.
Exactly.
Due to the coronavirus, right?
Right.
That's good.
Right.
That's smart business.
And not even by choice, like just because people aren't flying. That's that's a Jeffy scam right there. Frontier Airlines is pulling.
Still, I'm doing it anyway,
just to make sure, right?
Yes. I'm doing it anyway.
No, I paid for that to get out of here.
Also, they say that coronavirus will change the way we fly. There's going to be higher fares.
Yay.
Really? With people not traveling, there's going to be higher fares? Oh, good luck with that. Longer waits and no booze, which I don't mind because I don't drink anyway, so that doesn't really affect me.
I've got some drink coupons burning a hole in my wallet.
Longer wait. Oh, yeah, because they're only flying every other day now. Some airlines are flying every other day.
Yeah.
They've really lessened their flights. I mean, they've only got, they haven't even reached 200,000 people through the turnstiles yet.
No, the air
TSA
traffic.
numbers, so.
Air traffic is down 95%.
Yeah.
95% fewer people are flying.
What I saw was if you're an airline, you took the bailout, you can't fire people until the end of September. Does that ring a bell, Jeffy?
No.
Okay. I thought that if you took the money and you're an airline, you can't terminate until the end of September.
That's true for all businesses who take the money. They're not supposed to be firing people, but they've
there you
been
go.
doing it anyway. But they've been doing
Well, they
it
haven't
anyway.
been firing them, right? They've only been detaining them. I mean, furloughing.
Yeah.
So, we haven't been arresting people. We've just detained them for a while. Don't worry about it.
But ticket prices are likely to be 50% higher if planes attempt to enforce social distancing. No, thank you. Some airlines, including Delta and EasyJet, have said they would at least temporarily eliminate the middle seat in order to allow a safe distance between passengers.
That's before the memo from Frontier came out.
Yeah,
that's right.
And now they're like, whoa, wait a second.
Hey, wait, that's an idea. We can make more money by gouging them another $40. Again, I'm still going to do it, but it does piss me off now. Also, we talked yesterday about Disney and the sad shape they're in because all their businesses, from cruise lines to the theme parks, the stage shows, their Disney stores, the movie business, all of it completely shut down. Now, other movie studios have that too, but they don't have the multiple businesses that Disney does that are all shut down. ESPN has no sports to broadcast. I mean, it's a really bad situation they're in. Well, it just came out yesterday that their profit has been cut down just a bit since this all began. 91% less profit for Disney. 91%.
So they're still making money.
It's not 100%. They didn't lose all their money.
Shut up.
So I'm sure they're fine. Whatever.
That's actually still I hate to admit this. That's a good point, Jeffy.
They're talking about losing their profit, right? I mean, they're still making money. I mean, they're still making money and they're still breaking even.
I mean, that's a silver lining.
Yeah, it is a silver lining.
Jeffy found good news.
Thank you.
Way to go,
That's what
Jeffy.
I'm here
Thank you.
for.
Congratulations. All right.
Bastards at Disney. They make enough money.
Did you ever get Disney Plus, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it now.
You enjoying it? I mean, you can.
Yes.
You have plenty of time, right?
Yeah, well, I'm in the middle of Mandalorian as we speak.
Oh. Let us know how you like that.
Finish it by Friday. We're going to quiz you.
All right. 888-900-3393. Use that number tomorrow. We'll talk to you then on Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.